more we learn about space, the more uncomfortable it gets. What began as curiosity quickly becomes existential dread. Rogue planets drifting in darkness, black holes waiting like traps, mysterious signals with no sender, and silence deeper than anything we've ever felt. This isn't science fiction. This is reality, and it's much more terrifying than any story we could make up. So let's take a breath, look up at the stars, and talk about why space is scarier than you think. Imagine being born into a warm home, orbiting a sun, surrounded by planetary siblings. Now, imagine getting kicked out at birth and flung into cold, endless space. Rogue planets don't orbit stars. They drift through the galaxy alone, billions of them. Cold, silent, invisible. Some were likely born around stars like our own, but something went wrong. Maybe a gravitational tug from a nearby giant. Maybe a close planetary encounter. Whatever the cause, they were flung out, cast into interstellar space like forgotten debris. And yet, they're still out there, floating between stars. Entire worlds cut loose from their suns. They're hard to detect, no reflected light, no regular orbit to trace. We only find them when they briefly pass in front of distant stars, bending their light like a cosmic lens. And each one we find reminds us the galaxy is full of these ghost planets. Some are gas giants. Others may be Earth-sized, with frozen oceans and buried cores. But some may still hold warmth, a molten core, an insulated sea beneath a crust of eternal night. And in that sea, we don't know. No sunlight, no day or night, just a quiet pulse, a chemical murmur, a whisper of heat. These are not dead worlds. They are unknown worlds, and there may be more of them than stars. They call it the Rosette Nebula, a beautiful name for something that looks like a dying star's last scream. It's about 5,000 light years from Earth, sitting quietly in the constellation Monoceros. But it doesn't look quiet. It looks like a flower carved from smoke and fire. And if you stare long enough, a skull. That's not just imagination. Astronomers and artists alike have pointed out the uncanny resemblance, petal-like formations spiraling outward with a hollow, empty center, like an eye or a warning. But it's not just a pretty or terrifying picture. The Rosette Nebula is a stellar nursery. Inside it, stars are being born, forged in clouds of dust and radiation. But around the edges, those same stars are blasting the surrounding gas with solar winds, sculpting it into bizarre and ghost-like shapes. Creation and destruction happening at once. In a sense, it's both womb and tomb. It reminds us how violent birth is in the universe, how even beauty in space is edged with death. The silence is too perfect, too complete. We've been sending signals for over a century, but no one answers. For over 100 years, Earth has been leaking signals into space, radio waves, TV broadcasts, digital pulses. every day, we announce ourselves louder and louder to the cosmos, but no one ever responds. This is the Fermi paradox. Given the age of the universe and the vast number of stars, intelligent life should be everywhere, colonizing, exploring, communicating, and yet we hear nothing. There are only two possibilities. Either we're the first, or something is keeping the others quiet. Some scientists call it the Great Filter, a silent killer that waits somewhere along the evolutionary path. A trap. Maybe it's nuclear annihilation. Maybe it's rogue AI. Maybe it's an unspoken truth baked into reality itself, that all life eventually snuffs itself out. But there's another possibility, one much darker. What if there's something out there that doesn't want to be found? Something ancient, patient, something that waits for civilizations to shout into the dark, and then silences them. A cosmic apex predator. In this version, silence isn't just a mystery. It's survival. The loud die first, and we are already making noise. We sent Voyager into the void. We broadcast messages to nearby stars. We built massive radio arrays to listen, and worse, to speak. And still, there is nothing. No ruins, no signals, no signs of galactic empires. It's too clean, too empty, like a crime scene, already cleaned up. Some believe we're in a kind of cosmic zoo, being watched, observed, studied, and kept from seeing the truth. Others think we're being quarantined, not because we're dangerous, but because something else is. Or maybe, just maybe, they're already here, watching, waiting, and deciding whether we're worth keeping. It's easy to laugh off the silence, to say it just means we're alone. But what if the silence is hiding something, something that watches, something that remembers? And one day, maybe soon, answers will come, but they won't come gently. Imagine the universe as a vast forest, dark, quiet, endless. Now imagine that every civilization is a lone hunter, creeping through the trees, armed, alert, terrified. Because in this forest, you don't announce yourself. You don't wave a flag. You hide, because any sound, any sign of life could be your last. This is the dark forest theory. It's one of the most disturbing explanations for why we haven't heard from anyone else in the universe. It says, maybe we're not alone. Maybe we're surrounded, but everyone is too afraid to speak. Here's the logic. Every civilization wants to survive, but you can never know the intentions of others. Will they trade or invade? Will they be kind or see you as a threat? And since the cost of being wrong is extinction, the safest move is silence, or worse, preemptive attack. So the forest stays quiet. Signals go unanswered. Worlds go dark before they ever shine. And those who speak might vanish. Earth, by the way, we've been shouting for decades, broadcasting radio waves, probing deep space, sending golden records into the void, saying, hello, we're here. But maybe that was a mistake. Because in a forest like this, you don't want to be the one making noise. You want to blend in. You want to survive. Black holes aren't just the most extreme objects in the universe. They're a test of everything we think we know. Formed from the death of massive stars, they pack so much mass into so little space that not even light can escape their grip. The point of no return. That's the event horizon. Cross it, and physics begins to break down. Time slows, space distorts, and the rules that govern our universe start to fall apart. We used to think black holes just swallowed everything. But now we know they can shape entire galaxies, fuel quasars, even emit powerful jets of energy. They're not just destroyers, they're architects of the cosmos. And the scariest part, they're silent, invisible, and possibly everywhere, including at the center of our own galaxy. If space has monsters, these are the ones that don't roar. They wait. Honestly, black holes deserve their own spotlight, and we gave them one. Full videos on the channel. We stare into the dark heart of black holes and shudder. But what if the most terrifying part of the universe isn't the thing that pulls you in, but the one that spits you out? They call it a white hole, a theoretical rupture in space. It cannot be entered, only exited. We've never seen one, but the math whispers that they could be real. The same math that once warned us about black holes. And we didn't listen then either. Some say white holes might form in the moments after a black hole dies. Others think they've been hiding since the birth of the universe. Brief, violent flashes, bleeding radiation and matter into the void. No cause, no trace, just a wound in the fabric of space, like something on the other side is trying to claw its way in. We call them theoretical, but we used to say that about black holes until they became real. If any of these cosmic mysteries caught your attention and you'd like to see a whole video diving deeper into one of them, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this little trip through the darker corners of the universe, a like and subscribe would mean a lot. Trust me, what's coming next is worth it.